I'm Kiera. I go by Kiki. Sorry.
I'm sorry. And today we are going to be talking about sleep paralysis. And is sleep paralysis brought on by something demonic in nature, or is it something psychological? We're going to talk about our experiences with it and what we think. So I'll go first. I've only had a handful of experiences. You're going to see in this video that Kiki has a lot more experiences than me, and she also has a higher intensity and severity when she experiences sleep paralysis. So my first experience was very minor. I was taking a nap, and I felt this like presence in my room, and I felt like I was stuck, but I felt like I wasn't stuck in my bed. I wasn't fully awake. I was more so feeling stuck in a dream-like state. So what I did that worked, and what I would recommend if you have this problem, because I've had this happen to me a couple times, is what I do is I take my eyes, I close them really tight shut, and then I open my eyes, and that helps me wake up when I feel trapped. So luckily, my first experience was minor, and I was able to snap out of it. Okay, now what was your first experience like?
My first experience was very terrifying. I remember I was sleeping on my couch, and I can hear, at the time, my mother and my brother-in-law, they were in the kitchen, they were talking. And I can hear them talking about what they wanted for breakfast. And yeah. I remember me saying, like, I remember me saying, like, I would like some bacon, too, you know? And, you know, they didn't respond, and I'm all like, guys, I want bacon, and as I'm trying to get up, I'm like, whoa, wait, I can't get up. Wait, I can't move. And I remember me trying to force my eyes open, and I got them open just a little, and it was really blurry. And that's when I kind of realized, like, what is this? Like, well, I guess I'm still sleeping, and, you know, I guess it's sleep paralysis, but I was trapped in my own body, and I remember trying to fight my way, and I guess if you, like, you know, try to fight yourself out of it, it makes things worse, because I remember it felt like something was squeezing me tighter, and then I couldn't breathe.
That's like what I've heard about when you do trips, like DMT trips or like mushroom or LSD. I heard that if you have a bad trip, you're supposed to kind of surrender to the feeling and don't fight it. So I wonder if there's a connection with like just anything. Like if you have a bad feeling when you're high, sober, sleeping, awake, are you supposed to just surrender to that feeling? Because the fighting makes it worse. That's kind of, it's counterintuitive, but it works. That's scary because you hear everyone around you, yet you're asleep, but you can't move, but you know that reality's still happening. It's like almost like you were halfway in reality and halfway not.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
It was very terrifying, and that's also been a few other times where I had the same experience, and I'm literally screaming, like
internally.
You know, like what is it? Nightmare on Elm Street, when she's all like, "Wake me up!" You know, that's literally what I did. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, "Mom, wake me up!" Damn. And when my mom said that I did, I was just twitching, and my eyes were rapidly moving, and I was making grunt noises.
That's terrifying.
What I remember is me screaming, "Wake me up!" Yeah. She said I was just, you know, twitching and grunting.
What the fuck? You're just like,
you're pretty much like,
but on the inside, you're like, help me,
help me,
help me. Like,
yeah,
fuck,
that's what I'm really doing on the inside.
Fucking scary.
It's very terrifying. But I haven't had any experience like that in a while, but I have had, like, you know, this one experience where I woke up and I thought I was sleeping. And I got into an argument with my stepdad, and turns out that it was actually reality, and I thought it was a dream.
So you thought you were dreaming, but it was
real.
I
was dreaming, and it was real. And I asked my mom.
Wow.
Because it felt real, but I wasn't sure. Because I was like dreaming. You know how some dreams feel real?
Yeah.
So I had to, you know, I asked my mom. I was just like, "Mom, did something happen this morning?" And that's when she told me, like, "Yeah, you got into an argument with your dad. You woke up and started yelling at him."
That happened to me when I was really little. I was like sleep arguing with my parents. I remember that, but that only happened like once. The one time that I was asleep and I was paralyzed, I remember I tried to get up and hit my head against my dresser to wake up. So I thought I was like crawling and like rolling in my bed to fall over to do my grandmaster plan of like bumping my head to wake up, and I was literally just like stuck. I was stuck, but in my mind I was moving. And then what happened was I didn't wake up. I ended up falling back to sleep, and then I ended up waking up later. So that experience was really weird. That was really weird. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like extremely terrifying, but it was really weird. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then you have more stories, right?
I have a whole lot more stories.
Shit. So do you have another story you would like to tell?
For sleep paralysis?
Yeah, do you have any more? Because I only have another one after this.
Right now I can't think of any.
Okay, so the last experience I had was, it was actually after I had watched the show The Haunting on Hill House, where I'm trying not to spoil anything, but one of the characters has really bad demonic sleep paralysis, like in her storyline. So I had just finished watching that show, and then I had my first real experience with sleep paralysis and a hallucination, and that was weird. So what happened was I thought I saw a little girl in my room, but she was completely black. I mean, everything about her skin, her hair, everything, like she was like pitch black though, like black of the night, like not human.
Like a shadow figure.
Yeah, but not human, and it was weird. And I remember trying to swat her and hit her and get out of my room, you demon bitch, like, but I couldn't move. And then the other experience I have after watching that show was I had where I thought I had seen a woman, and she was completely white, and she was like a grown woman, so she was like almost the opposite of the little shadow girl. Wow. And I wonder what that means. I wonder, cause there's like a duality, and I wonder what that means.
You know what? It's crazy because when I was a little girl, we lived in a 3-bedroom house, you know, nice, everything. And I seen a little girl and a woman too.
And were they different colors?
No, they weren't different colors. See, like the house that I lived in, my mom believed it was built on like maybe like an Indian burial ground or something.
Fuck.
And also my mother, I know, complete different subject. My mother, she used to be clairvoyant, so she's very intuitive. Sorry, I can't say the word. Intuitive with, you know, the spiritual side. And
yeah.
She was able to connect with, you know, the people that passed away and stuff, and so she believed that spirits, you know, would follow her. So when I was younger, we lived in this 4-bedroom house, and I remember I came home from school, and I was saying hi to everyone in the house, and I said hi to my sister-in-law, and my brother goes, "Where do you see her? She's not home. She's at work." And I'm all like, "No, she's in the room. I just seen her." And not even, kid you not, 3 seconds later, she's walking through the door.
So was it a doppelganger? We need to make a video about doppelgangers too.
And it was crazy, yeah, because it was...
Because doppelgangers...
I saw the woman was wearing a white shirt and blue pants, and my sister-in-law had white shirt and blue pants on, but she was not standing in the room.
Doppelgangers are terrifying because they say that if you run into your doppelganger that you will die. And I actually have an experience. I think we're going to have to save it for the next video because I want to talk about my experience with doppelganger and spirits and shadow people. So I think we're going to have to save it. But I do have a really terrifying... It gives me chills whenever I tell the story about a doppelganger of me in my house with my mom and my niece when I was not home. So we'll have to talk about that in the next video, but that was really scary because they told me about what they had experienced, and I wasn't there, but it was like I was there when I wasn't.
And I also had a very similar experience, but I was home.
Fuck.
So, we'll talk about that in the next video.
So yeah, we will definitely have to talk about that in the next video. And I just want to say one last thing. In the comments, please tell us, do you think that sleep paralysis is demonic, or do you think that it's just psychological and everything's in your mind? Because we believe it could be both, or one or the other, and we're very open-minded to humor any possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else you would like to say?
No, I believe we're done with this.
Okay, so we're cockney now, but I believe we are done with the video, so thank you very much for watching, and I'm Randy.
And I am Kira, aka Kiki.
Yes. And
no, that was so ugly. Just call me Kiki, sorry.
And we're gonna call this show This Is My Shit. So this was our shit today. Thank you very much. What the fuck?